What is up, everybody? We are talking about one of my favorite bands, these guys right behind me, and the controversy that followed them after their Warped Tour DC performance. Let's get into it. What is going on, everybody? I hope everybody is well. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all those cool YouTube things for me. I would really appreciate it. Today we're gonna talk about one of my favorite bands on the planet, as you all know, the one, the only, Asking Alexandria. Um, Here's one thing I want to say really fast. I'm not on the train that Danny should be kicked out of the band. I will never tell a band what they should and shouldn't do because I'm a fan. I've been a fan since 2012 because that's when I really got into them. I saw them. Actually, that's not true. I was supposed to see them play in 2011. I couldn't see them play. Got really into them right before they went on the Mayhem Festival in 2012. For reasons out of my control, I could not see them play on the 2012 version of Mayhem. I did not see them play until California Metal Fest 2012 later that year in November. But that's neither here nor there. So today we're gonna get into what happened at Warped Tour. Now, let me preface this before we get into the meat and potatoes of the video. Danny has said for a long time that he does not like to scream this, and that. Last year, actually the year prior to that, when they toured with The Who, he started doing it again. They had a live performer with them by the name of Paul Bartholomew. He would help Danny do the screams, even when they did the second half of the All My Friends tour, because the first half he killed it. The second half, right before that tour started, Danny got food poisoning, so he couldn't really perform. So Paul really stepped up. And for whatever reason this year, whether it be that Paul wanted to just create his own music, the band felt that they didn't need him anymore because they retired most of the old songs from their set. Whatever it is, I don't know. I reached out to Paul myself. He has not gotten back to me. I asked him why he left. I don't know if he's signed an NDA. But so right now, Asking Alexandria is the four piece you see behind me with Sam, Cam, Danny, and James. If you don't know who those guys are, if you look from left to right, it's how I named them. Yeah, from left to right. Okay, here we go. From right to left, I'm sorry, because I went. Okay, here we go. It doesn't matter. If you don't know who they are, it's okay. So, fans started claiming Danny should leave the band because he's holding them back, this, and that. And they started co- commenting for their other vocalist, Denis Stoff, who was in the band when Danny first left in 2015. Then Dennis released a statement. We're gonna get into that right now. But before we do any of that, um, I do want to say I'm a big fan of Danny's. If it comes off that I'm sounding biased, I probably am because, like I told you guys, Asking Alexandria is one of my favorite bands on this planet. They're like top four, and they've been that since I've got into them, and it's been more than 10 years. So that's if so you guys can understand where I'm coming from. But here we go. Here we go. So what I'm about to show you is Denis Stoff's statement. He goes, "Hey fam, I don't even know where to start here. I simply couldn't ignore the AA situations that's circling around the internet right now. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for the amount of love that you've all showed me in the comments. I appreciate y'all. Now let's get to it." Like, that dude shot himself in the foot going on with this statement. Ready? I've seen the videos. I left my tits off. I loved it. Like that's why I can't respect you anymore. How can you love somebody else getting crapped on? Like hundreds of people have mentioned in the comments, this is what they've always sounded like since the beginning of their career. That is not true. I was on the I was rolling on the floor laughing years ago when Danny said that I was performing to his backing tracks, which was an awful and 100% fake statement. Now, I can't prove that Dennis actually used Danny's backing tracks, but he would use Danny's backing track. I mean, he would use backing tracks. Not, I can't say it was Danny's. I can prove that he would use backing tracks. As you can see in the Warped Tour 2025 show, Danny is clearly having tons of backtracks in their live set and is clearly incapable of giving a good performance. The people who paid money for their tickets and simply wanted to see a good show. Here's a few performance comparisons that show a drastic difference in skill and effort shown on stage. Okay. Let's hear this, bro, because I actually like Dennis a lot, like a vocalist as a person, not so much because this guy's acting like he doesn't have skeletons in the closet. And you're gonna see what I'm talking about right now. Here goes once again. I appreciate all your positive comments. And then this is where it gets interesting. He goes, unfortunately, I would never return to a band that still never presented a single royalty statement for the Black Album and has failed to pay out an estimated 5 millions of my profit. So he basically saying that the band owes him money. Again, I don't know if any of that's true because Dennis has a lot of skeletons in the closet. Now, back to when he said, again, I can't prove that this is Danny's backing track. He says it's he said that Danny, because I do remember Danny setting up a cease and desist and sent it to them. Now here's him using backing track. I don't know if it's Danny's or not, but he also used it. See, so he would use it as well. Does that mean he's incapable of a good performance? I wouldn't say so. But here's what I will say. Dennis has a lot of skeletons in the closet because after he left AA or was let go from AA or they moved on from him, because you hear a bunch of different statements that they didn't kick Dennis out, Dennis stopped talking to them, this and that. It doesn't matter at this point. But my point in saying all of this to you is this guy, he wasn't Make Me Famous. He got into disputes with them that he would work it, that he would make more money than everybody else. Down and Dirty, I'm not gonna say he ruined that because he left Down and Dirty to go do Asking Alexandria. Asking Alexandria, he says Asking Alexandria doesn't exist till I get what's owed to me, which confused the hell out of Ben Bruce. Ben Bruce goes, that's weird, what's owed to you. So there is that. Like he goes on to say, I have sent countless email requests regarding this situation to the band and their representative, which all have been ignored for nearly 9 years. Say the least, back in 2015, 2016, I was misled into believing that the business side was transparent, that I would receive all my royalties in full and on time. Okay. And after he got let go, or after let's just say he left. Let's say he left on his own accord. After he left, someone literally called him out, like saying, "Don't trust him," because Dennis till this day is saying that he wants to do guest spots and all this stuff. Like, tell me one thing, guys. And I'm not saying he's not old. He probably is. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying to sit here and act like you don't do anything wrong is what's making me upset here. But tell me why, ever since Asking Alexandria, he hasn't been in a touring band. Drag Me Out hasn't toured. Have they? And if you use the Ukraine situation as his excuse, tell me how Ginger is touring. Can you please tell me how Ginger's touring? You can't, because Ginger's very successful. And look at this comment. Picking one of the bad old performances of his and comparing it to one of your good ones ain't it, bro. You were the better fit as time went on, but it seems like an ego boost on your behalf. Danny at the beginning had great performances. Look at his Mitch Lucker performance and tell me he wasn't once a great screamer, someone you looked up to. And it's sad seeing where he is now with the band, as it comes off lazy and lackluster, as many of us agree, but you're reaching here. That's funny. Again, it may be lackluster, it may be sad to some people, but some of my favorite songs of Asking Alexandria have come from the most recent album and See What's on the Inside. Like, that's another thing. Like, the criticism I will give Asking is they regurgitate songs, and I'm not saying to make your set list of old songs, but at least put some of the newer ones in. Like, how come I never got to hear my favorite song from See What's on the Inside? You made it this far, or the title track of Where Do We Go From Here, or Holding On to Something More, or It's Not Me, It's You. Like, if there's criticism to give Asking, give him that. Like, okay, you don't want to do the old songs, fine. I won't make you, but at least put some songs in there that I haven't heard. Like, they recently added like a House on Fire, which I'm gonna tell you, that makes me happy because I never thought I would hear that song live. So my question to you is, Danny brushed this off because of technical issues, and there probably were some because not everybody sounded great, and lazy cameraman work. I can't speak on that, or nor will I, because it sounds like I'm making an excuse for them. And another thing people say is he's always wearing a hood and gloves. Why? I don't know, man. I don't know, especially in the heat right now. That is a good question. I'm not looking to make excuses for the band. I think they're really great. That was really weird right now. My camera like wanted to go out, but it fixed itself. But what do you guys think? Let me know. Again, the reason I made this video is because I like how Dennis tried to make himself be the high and mighty one. Because that guy's got some skeletons in his closet. But let me know what you guys think. Are you guys going to see them on the Chevelle tour? Because they got a full blown tour coming up. That's another thing Danny said. Like, you guys are stuck with me until these tours are over, at the very least. Because Danny has no desire to leave Asking Alexandria. But let me know what you guys think. Peace, guys. Later.